Okay, I get it, but I gotta work now, so put the body in the trunk and stop crying about it, okay? Thanks. Appreciate it. Hey guys, what's up? Sam here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about the latest iPhone 13 leaks and rumors, specifically the slew of good and bad news. This happens every year around this time when the designs are beyond finalized, and we're just starting to hear the trickle out of information that tell us what it's really gonna be like what is the iPhone 13 actually. And the picture this year is just really similar to what we got on the iPhone 12. So I want to go over everything that we're hearing in today's video, so let's go ahead and get started. So what are you waiting for? If you're excited for today's video, drop a like down below. It seriously helps me and the channel out, and click that subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications so that you never miss a beat. Alright, you guys know how we do it here on iUpdate. I like to get the pain out first. I just want to sit through it. I want to go through the bad news before jumping into the stuff that's a really good story for the iPhone 13. And we have two things that I'm not super hyped about. The first is minor, the second is way worse. The first being that LiDAR is still only going to be on the Pros in 2021. Not only can I see that with my own eyes in the design dummy unit that I have right here, but it also makes sense. LiDAR is a premium feature that helps with things like augmented reality, giving you down to the millimeter measurements, but also more importantly for things like autofocus in low light. And I speculate this year it will also help on the iPhone 13 with portrait mode video, but this is only going to be on iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max. 13 mini and the regular 6.1-inch 13 will not be getting LiDAR. There were a ton of reports initially this year that said we were getting LiDAR on everything, which kind of made sense for Apple to add the tech across the line. But unfortunately, LiDAR did not make the cut. And something else, I could see my voice unironically broke when I was going to say it because my subconscious was like, just get ready to start crying. But Touch ID is not going to make it this year. Oh no, please God, but it's from a sketchy source, right? It's from somebody with no credibility. Like Touch ID is still... No, I'm so sorry to dash your hopes, but I told you, we just got to get rid of the bad news. Mark Gurman, a source who is the best in the game, the industry standard for leaks, over 89% accurate for 400 claims, said that Touch ID, while it was in testing and initially planned for this year, apparently Apple has changed their plans, and Touch ID is not going to debut on the 2021 iPhones. We'll have to wait until likely next year, which makes me question at this point, before we jump into the good stuff, then what is the iPhone 13? I mean, we've got 120 hertz on the Pros, we've got better battery life, we've got a faster processor. I thought Touch ID was going to be the other feature, dual authentication with Face ID and Touch ID, that would really sell these products. And Touch ID was supposed to debut back in 2020. It got pushed back likely because of the pandemic. I thought it'd be ready this year. It still isn't. So no Touch ID on the iPhone 13s, while so many competitors have a fingerprint sensor either under display or in a power button. Apple still can't do it. They can't get it up. All right. Super frustrating, and really the main reason I wanted to make this video, just because we were kind of in the dark thinking that it was coming, and I want to be real with you. We're not expecting it anymore. All right, I can't do this bad news anymore. I'm about to go into a deep bout of depression. It looks like, starting off with the good news, Apple's going to pre-install WeVPN, my favorite VPN on everybody's iPhone on the 13. No, they won't do that, but WeVPN is my favorite VPN out there, and it turns out they just started their incredible summer sale. You guys know that VPNs help you stay safer and more anonymous online, and there's a reason I use WeVPN instead of everybody else. The guys over at WeVPN are a group of industry veterans that left all the other VPN companies doing the sketchy stuff with your data in order to make a product that not only gets better every week, but that also cares about you. On top of that, WeVPN allows you to unblock content on now more than 350 streaming services around the world, meaning you can watch shows that aren't usually available in your area. I've used this and it's so cool. And right now there's a crazy deal happening. The summer sale is live, which means that for a limited time you can get 74% off and 3 months of free service when you purchase a 2-year plan. That's just $2.59 a month, and on top of that, when you use code iUpdate, you get an additional 10% off. Listen, there's a reason that I continue to work with WeVPN each and every single week, and it's because I use it and I believe in it. If you guys like what I do here on YouTube, then head over to wevpn.com/iupdate and get started today. All right, let's go ahead and cheer ourselves up a little bit with the good news, which is that a smaller notch is coming. In the same report where Gurman is like, hey, no Touch ID, he reaffirms that a smaller notch is absolutely happening this year, which if it didn't, I'd just switch to Android. I mean, we needed a smaller notch for years. It is finally coming, and next year we have even better news, that Apple plans to shrink it even further. On the 2022 iPhones, we've heard rumors that it could adopt a hole punch design, which I know sounds absolutely crazy and unbelievable for Apple to go in that direction, but considering that we've seen it be pretty popular on a lot of Android phones, I'm a fan of the way that design looks, just the cutout in the screen. Apple is exploring that too, and that could be the next evolution of the notch next year. And going back to the dummy units for a second, you'll notice that the cameras look different on the standard 13. They're much larger, as you can see in my video where I went hands-on with all these designs of the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max, which made me believe that camera upgrades were going to be big. Now, I was speculating there, but that's actually the case. I know for a lot of my friends and probably most people, the camera is the single most important upgrade over battery life, screen, or anything else, because so many people are taking photos and it's always like, oh, is the camera better? Like, that's the kind of the common sentiment for the iPhone from the normies that don't watch iUpdate. You guys aren't a normie though, because you're watching. We were talking ambiguously about camera upgrades, but Mark Gurman says there's going to be a big focus on video this year, which is pretty shocking to me considering there was a huge focus with HDR and Dolby Vision last year, but specifically better optical zoom is coming. I assume they're referring to just the Pro models with 3 lenses, the telephoto that is a greater zoom. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy like a 10x or 20x optical zoom like that, but certainly like better than 2 or 2.5. I don't know why Apple has just lagged forever on the third camera lens. I got the Pro in my pocket. I mean, it goes 2x on the 12 Pro right now. I hope we get 4x or 5x at least, which would make room for the periscope zoom, which will be a 10 to 20x optical zoom coming next year or the year after. So, I mean, next year's iPhone upgrade actually starting to sound a little bit better than this year's, which happens every year. And we're going to focus on this year. We're focusing on the present. That present also includes Wi-Fi 6E. We've gotten another report yet again that says this faster Wi-Fi technology is coming. Essentially, it expands Wi-Fi to the 6 gigahertz spectrum. Right now, everything is super condensed to 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So by everything switching to 6E, you should see faster performance across your entire network. This is not new information, but still good news that it is on track for this year. And then there's this last rumor from Mark Gurman that I'm a little skeptical of, even though the dude is so accurate. He says that, well, Apple is adopting LTPO displays, which means they can change the refresh rate on demand from 120 to 0. This enables ProMotion. It gives you better battery life on your screen in general. He says, well, this could also be the year that Apple brings an always-on display to the iPhone. And, you know, while that's like cool, it just makes me say, well, if Android's done this without LTPO for years using OLED technology, why didn't Apple just do it years ago if it was coming? Because it's one of those features that's so obvious. I thought we would have seen it years ago if it was ever coming. And don't get me wrong, like, I would love this feature. This is something that I've wanted. This has been a rumor in and out for years. It's also that in the fact that when Gurman shared this information, he worded it as very like, well, it could, or maybe, or it is possible, but was not super confident in it coming. Now, I do think it's somewhat realistic considering that the underlying technology to optimize battery life alongside this is here this year. Genuinely, it's something I wouldn't believe unless it was coming from Gurman. So this is good news that at least Apple's exploring it and that we might actually be seeing the always-on display on the iPhone 13. So to recap, the bad news is no Touch ID and LiDAR remaining a Pro exclusive feature. It's not going to come down for everybody else. The good news, Wi-Fi 6E, always on display. We've got great news about video improvements coming, the smaller notch as well, and even better, less of a notch next year in 2022. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like down below. And of course, hit subscribe so you're always staying up to date on the latest Apple news. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.